The dust tastes of prayer. It rises in a fine, ochre cloud from the stamping feet of the horn-faced clan, coating their skin and catching in their throats as they chant. Before them, in the broad, sun-drenched valley, their gods graze. The great herd of Triceratops horridus moves like a slow geological event, a living mountain range of muscle and bone. Each deep grunt is a divine utterance, each swish of a tail a commandment. The clan's shaman, a woman named Kaya whose face is a road map of wrinkles, watches the matriarch, Old Mountain, whose scarred frill and broken brow horn tell the story of their people. This is the core of their ritualism, a symbiosis of belief. The clan clears paths of nuisance stones for the herd. The herd in turn keeps the more aggressive predators of this prehistoric world at bay with their sheer, intimidating presence. Their dung fertilizes the berry bushes the clan cultivates. They are the clan's fortress, calendar, and creators, the central pillar of their existence. This intricate dance is the essence of their prehistoric life. Kaya raises her hands, the rattles made from snake bones falling silent. Old Mountain has stopped chewing. She lifts her massive, parrot-beaked head, sniffing the air. The other Triceratops follow suit, a ripple of unease moving through the 80-strong herd. The clan members freeze, their prayers dying on their lips. This is a new omen, one Kaya has never seen. It is not the scent of the familiar Olsaurus, which the herd treats with contemptuous aggression. A silence falls over the valley, so profound that the buzz of a fly sounds like a drum. The earth begins to tremble. It is not the heavy, rolling tremor of their gods, but a sharper, more predatory vibration, the footfalls of a true monster. From the tree line at the far end of the valley, a shadow detaches itself. It is a nightmare given form, a devil from the clan's darkest tales made flesh, a Giganotosaurus. It is longer than the largest Triceratops, a creature of Ceratops, a creature of serrated teeth and monstrous appetite, its head alone the size of a grown man. The clan scatters for the safety of the cliff-face caves, their faith evaporating into pure primal terror. This creature is not a simple predator. In their mythology, it is the unmaker, the eater of gods. Kaya remains, frozen halfway to safety, unable to tear her eyes away from the sacrilege about to unfold. The Giganotosaurus does not charge blindly. It moves with a terrifying intelligence, its eyes fixed on the herd, calculating. Old Mountain bellows a challenge, a sound that shakes the very stones, and the herd forms the shield wall, a circle of horns and frills facing outward, the calves and young protected in the center. For a moment, the two titanic forces are locked in a standoff, the apex predator versus the armored fortress. It is at a blow that has defined life million years ago, but the devil is patient. It feints to the left, drawing the attention of the bulls, then explodes with shocking speed to the right, crashing into the line where a younger female stands. The impact is like a rock slide. Horn meets flesh, but the Giganotosaurus uses its immense skull like a battering ram, shoving the defender aside. It is inside the shield wall. Chaos erupts. The Triceratops bellow in fury and fear, their formation breaking as they try to bring their horns to bear on the intruder. But the Giganotosaurus is a whirlwind of destruction, its jaws snapping, tearing a bloody furrow along a bull's flank. It ignores the adults, its target clear. It seizes a half-grown calf, lifting the squealing, thrashing animal in its colossal mouth. The calf's mother charges a desperate, suicidal act, goring the attacker's thigh. The Giganotosaurus roars in pain and fury, dropping the calf and whipping its head around, its teeth slicing through the mother's neck. She collapses, a mountain of flesh twitching in the dust. The great beast reclaims its prize, the dying calf, and begins to back away, its bloody work done. The clan watches from their caves, their world shattered. Their gods are bleeding, their gods are dying, and their prayers are nothing but dust on the wind. A profound and terrible silence hangs over the valley for 2 days. The horn-faced clan watches from the mouths of their caves as the Triceratops herd mourns. The beasts nudge the cooling corpse of the slain mother with their massive heads, their powerful, keratin-no-US beaks clacking softly against her armored frill in a gesture of communal grief. Their low, resonant moans are a funeral dirge that echoes off the cliffs, a sound of divine sorrow that chills the clan to the bone. The unmaker, the Giganotosaurus, has not returned, but its presence lingers like a foul sickness in the air. Fear is a poison, and it spreads quickly. Jory C., the clan's most pragmatic hunter, speaks the words everyone is thinking. "The gods are weak," he says, his voice flat and hard in the flickering firelight of the main cavern. "They cannot protect themselves. They cannot protect themselves. They cannot protect us." He gestures towards the valley entrance. "We leave. We find a new valley, a new home. To stay here is to wait for the devil to finish its meal." Murmurs of agreement trickle through the huddled figures. His logic is the simple, brutal calculus of survival that has guided human ancestors for 1,000 generations. But Koya steps forward, her shamanic rattle silent in her hand. Her authority, once absolute, is now as fragile as a dry leaf. She does not speak of faith or destiny, she speaks of facts. "And go where, Jory C?" she asks, her voice quiet but carrying an ancient weight. "The plains have the raptor packs. This valley and this herd have kept us safe our whole lives. If the shield wall breaks, if the herd is scattered, the Unmaker will not be our only new neighbor. It will be the first of many." She lets the truth of that sink in. Their anthropology was never just about worship, it was about a deeply practical arrangement. The gods were a shield, and that shield is cracking. "We cannot fight it," Jory C counters, gesturing with a spear. "Look at us. We are mice at the feet of mountains." Koya nods, agreeing with him. "We will not fight it with the one thing it does not have. A mind that can lay a trap." Her eyes, old and sharp, scan the faces of her people, landing on the younger hunters, their fear warring with their pride. She points a bony finger toward an arrow, twisting canyon that snakes away from the valley floor. It is a creature of the open ground. Its size is its strength there. But in the serpent's path, its size is a cage. We will not kill it. But we will teach it that this valley is a place of fire and pain. We will make it hunt elsewhere. The idea is audacious, insane, to intentionally draw the attention of the monster that broke their gods. It is the ultimate hard choice: embrace a suicidal plan or accept the slow, certain death of exile. The plan she outlines is born of desperate intelligence. The carcass of the dead Triceratops will be the bait. They will drag it, a monumental effort requiring the entire clan, to the entrance of the Serpent's Path Canyon. On the cliffs above, they will pile the valley's driest wooden thorny brush. When the Giganotosaurus comes to claim its meal, they will light the fires, creating a terrifying wall of flame and smoke, driving it not into the open valley, but deep into the winding trap of the canyon. More hunters will wait there, not to fight, but to make noise, to hurl rocks, to create a terrifying gauntlet of chaos that will brand this place in the beast's memory as a bad hunting ground. It is a plan that relies on timing, courage, and the hope that a predator's mind can be broken by fear. Jory C stares at her, his skepticism warring with the cold logic of her words. He sees she is not asking for a sacrifice to appease a god, but for a calculated risk to save their world. Reluctant nod. The clan has its path. They will not be worshippers praying for salvation, they will be architects of it. The labor is an act of profane reverence. It takes every able-bodied member of the clan to move the mountain of flesh, their feet slipping in the blood-soaked dust as they haul on sinew ropes tied to the dead Triceratops. They are moving a fallen idol, and the effort is a prayer of muscle and sweat. They position it at the mouth of the Serpent's Path, the scent of its death, a cloying invitation on the hot wind, as the sun bleeds across the horizon. The ground begins to tremble again. The Giganotosaurus returns, drawn by the promise of an easy meal. It approaches the body with a predator's arrogance, its massive head low, tasting the air. It sees the clan's tracks, the signs of their effort, and seems to dismiss them as the meaningless scurrying of insects. This is its fatal miscalculation. As its jaws open to tear the first strip of flesh, Koya lets out a piercing cry from the cliff top. It is the signal. Torches arc through the twilight, trailing sparks, and land in the massive piles of bone-dry brush stacked along the canyon's rim. The fire catches with an explosive whoosh, and in seconds, a wall of flame roars to life on either side of the Giganotosaurus. Panic replaces arrogance. The beast rears back, roaring in shock and pain as the heat sears its hide. Its escape route back into the valley is cut off by a curtain of fire. Instinct drives it forward, away from the flame, deep into the narrow canyon, deep into the trap. Now the second part of the plan unfolds. From alcoves and ledges within the serpent's path, the clan's hunters, led by Jory C., unleash a cacophony. They scream, they beat drums made of stretched hide, they hurl rocks that clatter harmlessly off the dinosaur's thick skull but add to the sensory assault. The canyon walls amplify the noise into a deafening roar, a man-made thunderstorm. The Giganotosaurus, a creature of open spaces and straightforward violence, is utterly disoriented. It is trapped in a corridor of fire, sound, and shadow. It thrashes, its immense body scraping against the rock walls, its roars turning from fury to fear. It cannot see its tormentors. It only feels the heat and hears the demonic noise. This is a battle of nerve, not of strength. The hunters, themselves terrified, force themselves to hold their ground, their survival dependent on this psychological warfare. The beast makes a final, desperate surge, crashing through the gauntlet and emerging at the far end of the canyon, its hide smoking and blistered. It does not look back. It flees into the twilight, the memory of this valley now seared into its brain as a place of inexplicable torment. The Horn-Faced clan has not killed the devil, they have exorcised it. As silence returns, broken only by the crackle of the dying fires, the clan members emerge, their faces black with soot, their bodies trembling with exhaustion and adrenaline. They look down from the cliffs. The Triceratops herd, which had watched the entire event from the far side of the valley, is moving. Led by Old Mountain, the great beasts walk not to their grazing grounds, but towards the base of the cliffs where the clan is descending. There is no aggression, no fear. The massive, scarred frill just feet from the shaman. The ancient reptile's eye, a blackened intelligent orb, meets the woman's. In that gaze, an understanding passes. The old relationship of god and worshipper is dead. What replaces it is something far more powerful, a conscious, willing symbiosis. Jory C. comes to stand beside Koya, holding a shattered piece of the dead Triceratops' horn. He looks from the living herd to the tool in his hand, a new understanding dawning in his eyes. So we, the Homo sapiens, learned to lift them up. From this day forward, they would use the remains of the fallen to craft better weapons and tools. A new osteodontocratic technology, not for hunting their gods, but for defending them. In the embers of their victory, a new kind of human being is forged. The Horn-Faced transformation from passive worshippers to active partners is a pivotal moment in the grand, unwritten saga of human evolution. This event, echoed in countless struggles across the prehistoric world, marks the birth of strategy. It is the first glimmer of the radical idea that the great beasts, the very gods and devils that dominated their lives, were not just forces to be feared or worshipped, but systems to be understood, manipulated, and even coopted. They learned that a fortress of flesh and horn could be reinforced by a fortress of the mind. This covenant, sealed not with prayer but with fire and courage, is the blueprint for our species' unlikely ascent. It is the moment our ancestors stopped begging the gods for protection and began to offer them an alliance, realizing that the path to survival was knocking up to the heavens in prayer, but in looking an apex predator in the eye and showing it the meaning of fear. Where faith failed, intelligence carved a new path, proving that the cleverness of the small could indeed redirect the might of the great. But, in the shadow of the southern mountains, a different clan learns a harder lesson. Some walls are not meant to be broken.